Good morning, and welcome back to Gaming with ADHD. Today we are taking a look at how to use the characters from the Heroes expansion for the Mutant Chronicles Siege of the Citadel 2nd Edition board game. Now, these characters were available as an add-on purchase during the Kickstarter, but they were not Kickstarter exclusives. So essentially, this is 3 different expansions, but I did the add-on bundle pack, so I received all of them. And today what I wanted to do is go over the rules for all of these characters and then take a look at some of the expansion contents in detail. Now, a couple of things to keep in mind. First off, these rules apply to all 3 figures, okay? They're not... they don't have individual rules. They'll have individual abilities, but as far as how the characters play, just according to the rules, it is the same for each of these characters. Now, the 3 characters are Cardinal Durand of the Brotherhood, the Imperial Reggia of the Imperial Corporation, and the Zarina of the White Star faction. Now, as I said, the rules are the same for all of the figures. Now, you're going to follow the normal rules for a Doom Trooper team. Each character does have a rank card similar to the different factions. And in addition, the characters are not specialists, but they can equip any weapons or equipment. They have all of the specialization icons on their cards so that they can do so. But as far as abilities related to the specialists, they don't get to use those because they are not specialists. In addition, all of the characters will get to take 3 actions on their turn. Now, the reason for this is because the characters are the only model that a player is going to use as part of their team. So normally a player would have 2 Doom Trooper models. In this case, if you're using one of the characters from the Heroes expansion, then you only get the 1 model to use. So, with that being said, the characters will replace one of the factions that is not being played. So for their ID marker, they can go ahead and take any one of the ID markers that isn't being used. They each also will have a power deck that consists of 10 cards, and before the game starts, the player using that particular character is going to pick 5 of those cards that they can use. And then right at the beginning of the game, the player is going to shuffle those cards and flip over the top card. Now, the top card, the cards are going to be used to track the character's health. Okay? So if they ever have to discard the last power card, then they are eliminated from the game. Now, the top card is considered the active card. Okay, it's face up on top of the deck, and there's 2 abilities listed on it. One is marked as active, the other is marked as discarded. And the active ability is used for the card that is face up and still on top of the deck. If a hero or character has to take damage, they're going to discard the top card from the deck and move that to a discard area, still face up. And so what that means is that all of the power cards that are in the discard area are going to be face up and active. Okay? So you can technically end up with more power as the game continues because you're going to have all of your cards face up. However, it does also mean that you are closer to being eliminated from the game. Now, if the character is going to regain health, then the player will actually select cards from those that have been discarded. So they get to pick whichever ones they want, place them in whatever order they want, and put them on the bottom of the power deck. So yes, this does mean they get to stack the deck in their favor. Now, each of the characters does also include a unique 3-mission campaign focused on their stories, focused on something that has to do with who that character is, what they represent in the Mutant Chronicles universe. Now, as a fun fact, something I kind of realized while I was reading over the rules is that the characters are essentially their own faction. Now, what this essentially means is that the game supports 12 players. During the Kickstarter, they obviously were focusing on the core game to start, and the core game gives you the 5 corporations plus the Dark Legion player. And normally, the players will rotate as to who is the Dark Legion player so that everybody gets a turn to be the bad guy. However, I was thinking if you wanted to just do a one-off, essentially you could play with 6 players. 1 player is the Dark Legion player, and all 5 of the corporations on the board. And if you wanted to take that even further, what you could actually do is you could include the Luna PD faction, the White Star faction, and the 3 characters, bringing it to a total of 12 possible players in the game. Now, don't get me wrong, this is a little bit ludicrous. I have absolutely no idea if it will work. I haven't tried it yet. I just really, really want to, just because, let's be honest, it would be really, really fun to see. Maybe a convention game or something. I don't know. But I do see a couple of drawbacks. I'm not quite sure how they would affect the game, but it is a couple of downsides that I did see. The first one is time. Is the game going to move quickly enough? You've got 12 players to deal with, 11 heroes, in most cases moving 2 models each, except for obviously the hero characters we just talked about. But that also means that the Dark Legion player is going to be doing more. He's going to have more cards more force cards that he needs to play. Or is he going to have enough? Are there going to be enough models just to represent the Dark Legion? These are all things that I don't know because I haven't done it yet. I just really want to try it. So, something to think about. Let me know in the comments down below. I think it would be hilarious. Let me know if you see any other potential downsides, things that I should be worried about if I'm going to do this game. But in the meantime, let's take a closer look at some of the cards and see what some of the powers are for these characters, okay? So, as you can see, we've got 3 characters here. We've got, actually, let me get it a little bit better lighting area. We've got Cardinal Durand, the Imperial Reggia, and the Zarina. So, to start off with, we've got our Cardinal Durand model. I still think this model looks pretty good. Just, needs some paint. The gray doesn't quite match the white and gold of the Cardinal. As I said, they have all of the different specialist icons, but they are not specialists, so they don't get to do that as they don't get to use the special abilities. I believe that is the art or the psychic powers of the Brotherhood. I still need to read over that a little bit more. But, so that's his card. Real quick, we'll take a look at the rank cards. Now, the rank cards outside of the faction symbol are identical for each of the different characters. Okay, so as you can see here, it does say Cardinal Durand has 3 actions per turn. Use the power deck to track his health. Okay, and all of the different hero characters have that. You still have the number of Doom Trooper cards you get, what dice you roll for defense, and the amount of money you have to spend at the beginning of the campaign, and what you roll for your attack, all the way up to rank 12, where you get 4 Doom Trooper cards, black and white on defense, 7 coins, and 3 black on the attack roll. So, rank 1 through 12 on 6 double-sided cards. So, what kind of powers does the Cardinal have? So the first ability card is Prominence, which states, when active, Cardinal Durand adds 1 red to all of his attack rolls. There we go, finally got it to focus. And then when discarded, Cardinal Durand adds 1 white to all attack rolls. Armor of Faith. Cardinal Durand adds 1 red to all armor checks. And then when discarded, when an adjacent Doom Trooper would suffer any number of wounds, you may choose to allocate those wounds to Cardinal Durand instead. Inquisitor Strike. When active, special action, perform a close combat attack adding 3 red, then discard this power card. And when discarded, as a special action, targeted an adjacent Doom Trooper, roll 3 red, the target Doom Trooper regains health equal to the hits rolled. So as you can see, there are times where you're going to want to take damage. You're going to want to get these powers out of active and into discarded status. But, you know, the more you do that, the more likely it is that you get eliminated as a player. Now, I'm not going to go over each of the individual power cards. Obviously, these are expansions to the game. I am not sure how Modiphius would feel about me revealing high-definition images of all of the powered cards. So I'm just going to show, about 3 of them for each one. Next, we've got the Imperial Reggia. Here's her figure. Couple of swords. Nice long cloak. Good model, even if the face is very tiny. Alright. 3 specialist icons. As I said, the ranks are the same for all of the heroes. So, first ability, Might of the Chosen. As a special action, she can move 3 squares, then perform a close combat attack, adding +1 white. So basically, she gets a charge attack. And then when discarded, she can move 2 squares and perform a combat attack, adding +1 white. So, still gets a charge, just not as far. Diversity is power. Doom Troopers sharing their sector with the Imperial Reggia add +1 white to their armor checks. And when discarded, the Imperial Reggia adds +1 white to all attack rolls if she is sharing a sector with other Doom Troopers. And Unity is strength. When active, as a special action, spend a total of 3 actions, so basically all of her actions, to grant every other Doom Trooper in the same sector as the Imperial Reggia an extra action to be used immediately in an order determined by the Imperial Reggia's player. So, in my 12-player game, that's going to be pretty ridiculous. Sacrifice 3 actions to get 10 more. I think I'm going to hide this card. We'll see. All right, and then when discarded during her next attack, the Imperial Reggia adds as many white dice as Doom Troopers sharing her same sector tile. So, as you can see, these are pretty powerful abilities sometimes, but these are not minor characters of the Mutant Chronicles universe. These are pretty big, pretty important characters, such as Zarina Alexandra Romanova, with her accompanying figure. I'm still not quite sure if I want to do my fast paint method like I showed you guys previously, or if I'm going to try and paint her up. Luckily, they did give the card so that we've got some nice reference material, to figure out how to paint her. Or I might wait and make my son do it, because he's a pretty decent painter, but currently occupied. So, we've got Zarina Alexandra. Let's take a look at her couple of her abilities. So Blizzard, Dark Legion creatures in the same sector as the Zarina move 1 square less per move action. And when discarded, the Zarina moves 1 additional square during each move action. So not bad, gets her moving around the board or slows down the Dark Legion. Cry of the Frozen Waste. Roll red for each Dark Legion creature in the Zarina sector. On a hit, move the corresponding creature 1 square in any direction. They cannot end their movement outside the board or on a trap. Or when discarded, Dark Legion creatures attacking the Zarina must re-roll 1 successful hit chosen by the Dark Legion player. Alright, and our last one, Unflinching Spirit. The Zarina adds +1 white to all attack rolls, or when discarded, consecutive attacks made by the Zarina against the same target gain +1 white. So, that is the Heroes expansion for Mutant Chronicles Siege of the Citadel. I hope you enjoyed watching the video. I hope you got something out of it. I hope if you were able to get these as add-ons from the Kickstarter, if you've played with them, let me know down in the comments. What did you think about them? How well do they work? I unfortunately have not gotten them to the table yet, but let me know. What did you think of them? As I said earlier, what do you think of my crazy idea to try a 12-player game? Regardless, thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please give it a thumbs up. If you haven't yet subscribed to the channel, I am trying to get new content out regularly and would absolutely love your support. So if you could subscribe to the channel, I would absolutely appreciate it. And other than that, share it with your friends and family, anybody that you think might enjoy this. But thank you for watching, and we'll talk to you next time. Bye.